Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to The Scope. And now, here are your hosts, Jared, Adam, and Shane.
Greetings and salutations to all of our Scope viewers, Scope fans. This is episode 185. 185, guys.
15 away from 200.
And the rate we do shows, that might be in a week, because we love to do shows.
I think I did the math, and although our summer scheduling might screw that up, but it landed somewhere around January next year.
So we've got big plans in the works already. Special guests.
Yeah? Like who?
Laser. Well, I've been cultivating my sources, my guest list. So far on the radar, George Clooney, number one.
Excellent.
Vice President Joe Biden.
Wow.
Vice President Joe Biden.
Still in office. That's a good get.
And per Adam's request, Oprah Winfrey.
Yep.
She just did the Ice Bucket Challenge, or she's going to. I know you're really excited about that as well.
Did you see Chris Carter's bad attempt at the Ice Bucket Challenge?
Did he point it to God and then somebody dumped it?
No, it was him and Chris Berman.
Chris Carter, former Minnesota Viking.
Yes.
For those that do not know.
Chris Carter went to pour it on his head and poured it all behind him, landing all on Chris Berman, who looked very upset about it. Chris Berman also doing the Ice Bucket Challenge at the same time.
Inadvertently.
True story, Chris Berman actually has 3 hairs that he just grows really long and swirls across the top of his head.
That's some skill. I mean, you can try to make fun of it, but it's a cultivated skill.
He takes the Donald Trump methodology and kicks it up a notch.
He does.
So very, very exciting, Jared. We'll keep our fans posted in terms of what happens on episode 200. Fingers crossed for all those guys.
We can make it.
We can make it. And if not, maybe we'll keep it low-key, the 3 of us. But
You had mentioned in the past doing like a week of shows.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
5 days, like Monday through Friday.
What do you think about that, Adam?
Instead of that, let's just do like 70 hours straight of shows.
A super podcast /
why not?
VCast.
I think I'm liking Adam on the new microphone. Adam is
good.
now matching the 3 of us, so we all got Heil microphones now.
Yeah.
Did you just say we all have a Heil Hitler microphones?
No, I didn't say Hitler. You did.
Oh. Jared.
Are you making fun of Bob Heil?
I don't even know who that is.
He's one of the luminaries of sound.
He was in the Luminaries. You know that band?
I love that band. They're very good.
Hey-ho. He was the hay.
Jared, it's time. Scope exclusive.
It's a Scopetacular Scope-exclusive.
Actually, it's not really. I mean, to our listeners, it will be, but to us, it is not. So a few weeks back, Jared and I were getting ready to go to the Paul McCartney concert. It was a very big deal.
You can see what that show was like on our YouTube channel.
Did you watch any of that, Adam?
I did watch some of it. I was at the cabin at the time, but I used some of my data plan to watch you guys.
Some of its data play. It's always about numbers and bits with you, isn't it?
As soon as I realized it was just going to be you guys giving verbal blowjobs to Paul McCartney, I stopped listening to it.
What did you expect? We paid $100.
I know.
We're not gonna treat him poorly.
If only Jared could have been standing next to Carrie and me when we were waiting to get into the stadium, you might think that Carrie might have killed about 1,000 people because the line was moving very slowly. Seriously, there was probably about 1,000, 1,500 people waiting to get in to the stadium, and there were 4 metal detectors, and it was a bit of a logjam.
It's a Scopetacular Scope-exclusive.
But anyway, let's pull it back to the reality. Right before we leave, I checked my email, and guess what, Jared?
What's that?
There's a message from Adam.
He was.
Oh, yeah.
Telling us.
I don't know pronouns.
I don't know. I didn't want to talk about this.
You don't want to talk about this at all?
That's fine. I mean,
It's out there now. It's in the
out
wild.
there.
Not really.
Oh, it isn't.
I mean, you guys got the only invites.
You got a week. You got a week to put it out there.
No, I'm not saying it's a secret.
Okay.
Still.
So can I ask you about it? Can we talk a little bit about it?
Sure.
It's really not going to be about you. It's going to be about us.
Okay.
This is where we stop being nice and we start getting real.
Yeah, this is a real world, dude.
All right.
So Adam is engaged. We've talked about it for years. I've pushed him.
I'm not engaged.
You're not engaged. You've got a date.
Nothing. I get nothing.
He is so uncomfortable right now. I love it.
I played the wrong march. Nobody.
That's the Imperial March. We were looking for the wedding march.
Oh no! The Imperial March is our first dance.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah. It's a mashup of it though. So
Interesting. So
you got to give the lady her time to shine.
Don't talk about Adam that way.
You guys.
I mean, I had a whole other line of questioning, but
That's fine. Go ahead.
I'm fascinated by this firm stance against discussing the future of your life and why you're so secretive about it. Why is it such a big deal? I don't understand that. You're not normally a very modest person when it comes to.
Because I'm not modest about things that are not real.
Oh, this show isn't real. We've been together we've been friends for 10 years almost.
Right, but like when I say balls 85 times in a show, like it's not like.
But we talk about tubes up our butt, tubes down our throat. We talk about our lasers together.
You're right. I guess it's because it involves someone else. And
okay,
I feel
so
like
we won't talk about that person. We'll just talk about.
Even though she's been mentioned on the show and her voice has been heard.
She's hosted the show actually before.
She has the spin-off show that has more viewers than
we won't talk about her.
We won't talk about her. But I'm curious, you said in your email that you sort of been planning this wedding/reception for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
I'm wondering how long you've known, because randomly I will tease you about, hey, Adam's engaged or something like that, but and then you kind of poo-poo platter it. How long have you been engaged?
We didn't get engaged.
You haven't been engaged. So you just announced. You're not even going to get engaged.
I mean,
this is a real 2014 type of situation.
Real
Jared.
modern.
It's modern. This is a modern family.
Yeah, we are prepared. How about that?
So there were no ring. I don't see a ring on your finger.
Rings,
You're not Beyonceing it.
Right.
Will there be rings ever, or is this
a whole new agey kind
too
of?
much of a tradition?
Yeah, we'll do something at the
like
ceremony,
like some White Castle chicken rings or something, something edible.
Yeah,
a mini donut perhaps.
Yeah. Okay. Why not? Then it's dual purpose. I don't like jewelry. It seems silly. Yeah, there you go.
I kind of feel like this conversation is when like Fred and Robin and Gary sort of get Howard on a topic that he doesn't want to talk about, and he's dancing around it the whole time.
Yeah,
I have not danced around anything yet.
You're very uncomfortable. So
that's true.
But so let me ask you, how long have you known? Let's get to that right now.
That's not. I don't know. Like
you must have been discussing it for a year.
I mean, we've been discussing it for longer than that, and it's just like, all right, it's been
long enough.
We ticked off all the things,
Were you ever considering getting a dog before this happened?
No,
because that's the big indicator.
When did the two of you start dating?
2006.
Okay, I got 2 years then.
Oh,
Jared, are you gonna be cagey on me? You're gonna be dicey with me, or am I gonna be on the top of the list?
You know me, I'm not super forthcoming with personal details, but I don't think I will take it to Adam levels.
Okay,
so
Adam Levine levels over here. So,
right, I'm not telling you what V stands for. Yeah, so I don't know. We just kind of said, hey, we should probably start thinking about this. And
I mean, there's no pressure. You can do whatever you want to do. You're a modern day kind of man. She's a modern day kind of woman.
Yes. I don't think there
it doesn't
pressure.
make sense to pay for 2 Spotify accounts, so it's probably
at some point you have to consolidate.
Yeah. It just started to make more sense.
It's like 6 months ago, we'll say.
Sure. I mean, I don't think that there wasn't like a day where like one of us was like, hey, we got to do this.
When you guys bought the house, was that sort of a sign like maybe we should lock this down a little bit more?
Yeah, there was definitely okay, now we
own
have
property.
This, right? Yes, it got more real.
Yeah.
That's a
fair enough
way of looking at it.
So, my big question is this: everyone knows you're sort of an odd fellow, and
I'm probably the most
sort of
normal one of us three.
This weird. Well, you can't see that on a podcast, but with video you can see my face. Like I'm sort of.
I won't argue on my behalf because I'm probably the oddest of the three of us. So
I'm sort of Curb Your Enthusiasm, and you're all right, all right. But I'm curious when it comes to this diciness about kind of putting your relationship out there. Mm-hmm. Is this coming more from you, or is this coming from your better half, or is it kind of a mutual thing where?
What do you mean dicey?
Well, I just mean you guys don't. I mean, your better half. She seems to be well-adjusted and normal. She'll talk about just about anything, but you kind of superstar it a little bit. You pull it back.
Oh, sorry.
I think the real question is: will there be Dungeons and Dragons role playing at the reception?
Oh, we've got all sorts of questions.
Yeah, I assume that's
we've got the Adam Wedding Spectacular coming in a few weeks. We're going to help him plan his wedding.
Nice.
Like great dress choices, bad themes, that kind of thing.
I don't think it's abnormal to on a non-private podcast want to discuss your personal life.
But even in real life, you don't talk about that stuff. I've talked to you off air all the time, and you definitely avoid it. So is it just me?
You're
Is
a
it
little
me?
probing,
Is
Shane.
it
You're a
Jared?
little bit probing. It's not me.
I guess I don't recognize. You know what it is?
You don't recognize this as a true friendship, is what
No,
you're saying.
I don't recognize that as a thing, and I don't. I don't know. I don't understand why people express the things that they do express.
Sure.
This is normal for me.
Okay, that's
Adam is
fair.
playing the character of Adam on this show, and then
Gotcha.
the character of Adam doesn't have a personal life.
Would you discuss this with your other good friends outside of? I mean, let's say
If asked,
Molly, you talked to Molly about this. Would she have had a better idea that something was in the works, or
no,
Or, is this-
no.
or-
I mean, literally
no
one-
friends knew. So you sent this out.
The
Maybe
only-
that's it. Adam just likes to drop bombs.
I think
He's a bomb dropper.
That's probably the
I don't have a
bigger
bomb
piece.
sound.
Here, our parent,
Will you accept
our,
this laser?
I think it's modern.
our family,
LASIK and bomb
our
dropper.
family did not know until a week prior, and then that gave us a week to create the website and send out an email.
That's a
and
great
stuff.
website, by the way.
Thank you.
So let's get to the true issue here. You did invite Jared and me, which I was shocked that we got to go.
Wait. Oh, okay.
Nice.
Shit.
Nice.
You guys were not supposed to make that cut.
Dang.
Somebody overruled your decision.
Yeah.
All right.
I like your lady.
Your
so,
better half,
so I think the real
as they say.
the important question is what is this? What is
I think
the?
they're coming to it as equals, by the way.
I think so too.
Yeah, go ahead.
What's the allowable scope presence at the reception? Like, what are we allowed to do? Can we vlog it?
Can we set up
Can we
a
interview?
video interview booth?
Can we set up a table? I mean, what's the limits of what we can do? Can we interview you
I think
at the event?
I think it would be great content, and I think it would be a nice keepsake for you
Yeah.
and your lovely bride to go forward in life with.
We don't have to talk to the parents, but I would love to talk to your mom. I've never, and I will talk to her at least in private.
I don't really care.
He doesn't care. We won't be disruptive.
If anything would cause Carrie to punch you, then that's the line.
Well, they come over to my house after the show because that is every day, all day.
I know I'm
Most of the time unjustified.
That's how I'm getting out of.
Oh, I'm
not-
sorry, I'm supposed to be
you
on
do-
Carrie's
not
side.
doing anything.
And so I had another question that I can't ask because it's probably giving away too information. I will talk to you about that after the show.
All right.
But I'm excited. I'm very excited for you. I'm happy for the two of you. It's very possible, right, that we can get all the details at our Minnesota Vikings Washington football team game because that happens the beginning of November.
That happens 2 days after the wedding.
I mean, you are going to have the greatest weekend with Shane and also get married
It's amazing.
in that order.
What if that Saturday is podcast recording day?
It has to be. It absolutely has
We'll
to be
see.
that day.
I got a feeling Adam's going to be busy that weekend.
I don't think I'm.
He's not going to be that busy. Trust me.
I already made sure I can still the football game will not be a problem.
So will it be a couples football game for you, or is it just going to be you going to this one?
I mean, she went to.
She did, I know,
game
but
last year.
I know
if
it's
she
gonna-
wants to. I don't
All right.
know. Whatever.
It's exciting. Both teams will be undefeated at that point.
It'll
Oh,
be
yeah.
a hard ticket to get.
Hard ticket to get.
Because all of the football season up until that point will be canceled. That will be.
Yeah, they'll be starting
That's going to happen. Yes.
0-0.
Probably a dirty bomb will probably stop it from there. You're going to have to look into tickets because Carrie has already bothered me about that, by the way.
Yeah.
That game, so-
They're still too expensive right now.
Okay.
We waited till like literally days beforehand last year. So.
Yeah. I think 2
We
days.
did. Well, this will be exciting.
$12. It was great. Go ahead.
We've got that's going to be a huge football weekend. It's going to be a huge weekend for Adam.
That's why I planned it like that.
I
We're
love
going
it.
to be wearing burgundy and gold, and I'm going to be talking about how the Redskins name needs to be preserved.
You should just
In
call
my
them.
vows.
What you should do is call them the Redskins.
Like
And then-
like Rhett Butler.
Yeah, like Rhett Butler, and then it's perfectly acceptable.
So
Jared.
this is my question, and you may or may not want to answer it, but I'll ask it anyway.
Please.
So are you doing like a private ceremony the same day, or will it happen earlier?
Yeah, undisclosed location
Same
and time.
same day. Just
day.
like
Okay.
an hour before.
Just a private, just small group.
Yeah.
We didn't make the cut for that, so that's
My guess
I
is
think that's telling.
My guess is it will be probably somebody from his old kickball team, one person. Your mom may show up, and that's about it.
I don't even know if my mom has accepted or RSVP'd yet. So
And then one of Adam's 18 other siblings that he's never disclosed on the show.
Wow, he's got a large family. I didn't know that.
I don't think any of my siblings are going to be there.
That's all right.
I think my only family member attending will be my mom.
That's great. And I like the fact that you did an evening for the reception. You did it's low key.
Mm-hmm.
I may not even have to wear dress pants. I could wear a nice jean. Perhaps.
I'm sure you would not be the only one, but that you would be on the lower end of the dress scale.
But what if I wear
What about a Bermuda short?
I like a short.
Well,
How about a nice shirt?
If you're with sandals, fine, but not
Short
with socks. No
No
socks. And
socks.
sandals.
Never. We understand that.
I don't wear sandals either.
Well, I think it's going to be a great event. I'm going to
barefoot.
finally.
I like to be in touch with Mother Earth.
I appreciate that. Jared and I are excited. We get to open the curtains a little bit, see the softer side of Adam. And this is not show Shane talking. This is real Shane talking. I'm truly happy for you.
Thank you.
It's been a long developing relationship, and
It stopped developing a long time ago.
That's true.
We've just been cruising for now.
I've seen a lot of my friends get hooked up with crazy evil people, and I think that you, if I may be so bold to say, you are my friend.
Sure.
That you've got a winner in this one. Would you agree with that, Jared?
Yeah, my ex-wife is crazy. And evil. What? Oh,
That was show Shane pointing over at you. Not real Shane. So we're happy for you
Thank you.
in a nice way. So there you go, guys. Let's go.
congratulations.
Congratulations, Adam.
Thank you.
It's going to be a great couple months leading up to your big days.
Yeah.
Days, Jared.
I think we're done with everything. I think we figured all that stuff out.
I like that efficiency.
It's a whole
And
new
that's
world
why
there.
you're free today, because you got it done early. None of this every weekend planning stuff.
No.
I had a role playing group breakup because the DM was planning a wedding, and it was like he just didn't have any time.
It goes away.
Priorities, man. Come on. DM group probably lasted longer than that, or had lasted longer than that relationship.
No, I think he's still married.
No, I mean like the before relationship.
I don't know about that.
All right.
All right, guys. Episode 185. We've got a much anticipated Adam focused news segment.
Oh, look, now you feel the need to be nice to me now.
I don't think I was mean to you at all. I think that,
No, I'm saying in general, you would be mean about the news, but I'm saying this week.
Oh, I always talk about how great you are at the news. Whenever I have to read the news, it's a disaster.
It is.
I mean, I think that
Which is why I usually take it when Adam's not here.
before the news segment happens, Jared.
Yes.
When Adam's not here and I have to read it, I'm very excited. I feel like I can handle it, but then once I get into it, it's a hot mess.
Disaster. Just falling all over yourself.
It sounds like my marriage, as a matter of fact. Once I get into it, it's a mess.
Wow.
That's show Shane. We've also got coming soon. We've got Jared and Adam and myself here. Big shows, big ideas, everything big on the Scope 185 coming up right after this.
This is the Fump.
There's an app for that. Download them for $1 in nothing flat. Whatever you need, you know it's guaranteed. There's an app for that. There's an app for that.
Joker Black Mask and the Penguin, Batman Arkham Origins. Oh hey look, prequel time again. It's not exactly Batman Begins. Joker Black Mask and the Penguin, Batman Arkham Origins. What to see do you suppose? How babes taking off their clothes. I want to see some of those. Let's watch ladies decompose. There's swinging music playing, there's dripping and decaying. If you know what I'm saying, it's Satan's burlesque.
That's the Funny Music Project at thefump.com. THEFUMP.com.
Salty food, almost paradise.
Down, officer down. What happened? Officer down, officer down. My name is Officer Down of the Special Police. You're all under molest.
Under the scope.
Whoa.
Welcome back to the
Welcome
show,
back.
Shane.
We're having a tremendous conversation off the air. We are back. And guess what? Come on, Jared.
Chicken butt.
Exactly. I'm going to let you guess again. What's coming up right this second? A button push. Adam, it has been one hell of a week for news, has it not been?
Yeah, I don't know how much you really want to talk about the stuff that we'll talk about next week.
Yeah. I mean, we can mention it in passing.
Okay.
But
In passing. Wow.
good.
Poor taste.
I am really ruining the show, aren't I?
Whoa. So,
Sound effects
yeah,
board
I guess
speaks.
I
here.
wish I had a sad trauma.
Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna lead off with the worst news.
Okay. It's Putin related, isn't it?
Yeah. For the first time in a while, the worst news has all been here, right?
Yeah.
That's great. And then we'll try to end on a higher note.
See, I wouldn't have organized the news this way. I would have been all over the place. I would have not tonally. It would have been a disaster. Thank you, Adam, for being here.
You're welcome. So Robin Williams died.
Mm-hmm.
That's nothing good about that.
No.
I won't play the sad trauma one for that.
Okay.
Yeah, that seems a bit
Inappropriate.
a bit coarse.
And then so most people were pretty decent about it. there were some politicians who decided to take that to be a good time to make their political views known and how it related.
Didn't
to
that happen in this state?
Yes. Yeah.
God Almighty.
Yeah.
Just making a weird connection to it.
And then not letting it go.
No. Well, it did eventually, and then the Republic. Yeah. So anyway,
sharks eventually let go of the animals that they're chewing on too.
Oh, I really wish you would say that later because I have a really good shark story.
I'm going to write that down.
All right, you'll just say the same thing.
I thought you were gonna.
Sometimes comedy is good when you come back to it. You beat it over the head.
Hey, the most important part of comedy is
I think it's
timing.
Timing, right?
Timing.
Nice one.
So after he,
Satrabone and now.
I don't have it up anymore.
So anyway, after he died, his daughter.
Yeah.
So Robin Williams, in case you don't know, he's like a huge
Timing.
He's huge into video games. Loved playing video games. I guess he was like a big Battlefield. He would always be playing Battlefield.
He loved Minecraft. He loved Warcraft.
Yep. He played Warcraft.
He loved
video
Nintendo games. He did. This sounds like the best guy ever, doesn't it?
He was really into Spore before it actually came out and disappointed everyone.
Maybe he got the cool version, and then they watered it down on release.
So even named his daughter Zelda. I don't know after what, but I'm sure it's something.
Weird name. I don't know why you choose that.
So, but the story is that I think it was his son. He asked his son, "What should we name your sister?"
Oh, okay.
And the son said, "We should name her Zelda."
Okay.
I think that's how the story goes.
So she posted something like a nice thing about her dad on her Twitter account, and then because the internet is full of the worst people in the world, people started then harassing her, sending her pictures of like photoshops of Robin Williams hanging himself and other not great things. So she decided to just leave.
What do they hope to accomplish by the internet?
Attention.
I guess.
So Twitter banned their accounts, the people that were reported. So
they should go to their house and hit them over the kneecaps with metal pipes is what should be done.
So here's the thing. Back before the Facebook existed, and the internet was
I like how you use the original name, the Facebook.
Exactly. The internet was terrible. People on comments were just pieces of shit. And I said it'd be great if people didn't have nicknames on the internet.
You've said that many times on this show.
First
Adam.
and last name.
Yeah.
And people will stop doing this.
They'll be accountable. People will know who it is.
And then Facebook came along, and then Facebook's comment system is used by thousands of websites, and it doesn't work. People are still horrible human beings.
Google tried to do it with YouTube by linking you had to be connected to a Google Plus account with your real name in order to comment. Hasn't stopped it.
It's like
people are assholes.
You see someone's profile picture, and it's like grandma with their grandson, and they're just like N-word this and N-word that. It's like what are you doing? So anyway, Twitter said they're going to look into maybe changing how some of their banning stuff works to try to be more proactive about bullying.
Some people like to call it the ban hammer.
I look forward to some of those people applying for jobs later, and their companies decide to check their Facebook profile and they go, oh, look at this guy.
Yeah. Do you think though, Jared, as the population ages and the people that were doing that, as they start to get into those hiring positions, maybe that sort of coarseness just becomes par for the course. See how I use course two different ways?
I did.
It's kind of like, we're serving shellfish two different ways tonight. I just wonder if that just... Yeah, I'll take that.
Like it becomes, you're saying it becomes a social norm and accepted.
Yeah, it just is like that sort of BS is where people put their entire life on the internet. They say whatever they want to. I mean, you can't say the N-word, obviously, but...
Well, people do.
I know, Adam, and you need to quit it.
Yeah, you're right. The Scope After Dark is a whole different show than what people usually listen to.
So, and The Scoop, don't forget that.
You're right. I think that there's still a veil of distance and anonymity. Anonymity.
I love those sea creatures.
That exists on the internet, and that's the main reason for it. These people aren't doing that in real life, or when they're doing it for a gag, and not for
it's
in
not
the hopes
funny.
of hurting people's feelings when it's in person. But like you lose all that context on the internet, and
context. What
Adam,
a novel concept.
do you think that for the average person, let's talk psychology of the internet. Do you think for the average person that sort of stuff fades a little bit as people grow older? Because I find that as I've gotten older, the energy and effort to be angry about stuff, especially in a public-ish forum, loses its charm very, very quickly.
Yes.
To be so cynical about everything and be such an asshole.
100%.
I mean, I was telling Jared about this yesterday. Maybe it was you. I don't know. I was telling somebody about a key moment in my 20s life or my teenage life was when Kurt Cobain killed himself. And I think there's a bit of a parallel to him and Robin Williams. The fact that he committed suicide. And I remember being very, very like, why would you care about this guy? He's an idiot. He was stupid for doing it, and all he did was hurt the people around him. When I didn't really understand what depression is. And if you are at that point in your life and you are at such a low that you would kill yourself, and we all get depressed, but I don't think you've ever been at the position where you just feel like there's no hope. For me to be able to judge somebody in that position is just ludicrous, because it's a whole different thing going in your brain. There's chemical reactions going on, more than likely. You've got in your DNA perhaps that is that, or some sort of over time the way you were raised may have led to that. So you just don't understand that. So my reaction to Robin Williams was a much sadder, more even keeled response. Whereas there's a lot of people out there that once again said, he's stupid, and actually a lot of people that are older too, that just like F him for doing something like that.
I think there's
where is that coming from, Adam?
Well, there's a
Jared,
there's
please.
a mindset, I think, in the older segment of the population that looks at depression as, just get over it.
Snap out of it.
Just be happy.
Rub some dirt on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you're a coward if you end it.
Right. Yeah, I think that there's a lack of
so.
Intellectual curiosity and honesty that runs through a large segment of just the world.
Yeah.
And it's much easier to say, oh, that was a dumb choice, rather than ask why.
As Jared and I have talked about this week in depth, it's an issue of black and white thought versus shades of gray, and understanding nuance and complexity in everything in life. Doesn't mean that you can't figure things out, but maybe it means you need to put a little bit more thought into what you're saying and what you're doing and how you carry those actions out.
And it just also means accepting that a lot of the times there isn't a simple answer to the question.
Yeah.
Right.
And you have to just be aware of that and accept it.
Especially with depression.
Yeah.
Don't judge something that you've never been there. I mean, people that are depressed aren't sad that, their team lost the football game or they lost their job. It is something that much deeper and much heavier than that.
Right.
That the average human being will never ever know, and happily they shouldn't have to know that. You don't want to be at a place that deep and dark and sad and depressed. And give me a break. It's just thank you.
Well,
soapbox over. For
and well, I mean, in kind of building on what Jared said about simple, people wanting simple answers, and it's just the world doesn't work that way. And you can look at it from a lot of different ways. It's like something like climate change, right? People will be like, oh, well, we can't. This one thing you've suggested won't fix the problem 100%. So why even try it? Or with gun control, like, oh, that won't solve everything, so don't even do it. And it's like, well, no, there's lots of small solutions,
measured steps to take care of a problem, or not even or just to help deal with it. Like, why wouldn't you try to deal with stuff like that?
Money, or whatever.
Yeah, or whatever,
or God.
Yeah,
money or God. It's always money or God. So let's see. I don't know. Ferguson stuff's really fun to talk about and depressing.
Tell people the gist of what that story is.
So in a suburb of St. Louis, Missouri, a black kid was on the streets, and a cop shot and killed him. And the kid was, depending on whose view or whose account you're going to believe, either was just standing there not doing anything, was reaching for the cop's gun, or somewhere in between those two. And what eventually happened was he died, and then we've had a week from yesterday, of just a week from tomorrow, of basically nonstop shit from everyone involved.
A convoluted, big, ugly nightmare of a scenario.
Yeah. So they have had
Can't they just get over it, Shane?
That's as a local restaurant patron said, right around my my personal area on Friday. Why don't they just effing get over it already?
And people will argue about this till they're completely blue in the face, but when it comes down to
is that a racial comment there?
Smurfs. I'm anti-Smurf and whatever the Avatar people were.
The Na'vi.
The
Yeah,
Na'vi.
the Na'vi. Thank you.
Jared knows all his blue screen creatures.
So since
Sure, it's a
racism
gift.
ended in 2008, there have been hundreds of protests where predominantly white people, many of whom were carrying guns, have gathered in the hundreds and thousands and stuff. And I don't ever recall a single one of those having a police force where they were all decked out in SWAT gear with M14As aimed at the people in the protests, with people in sniper positions aimed at them.
It's Obama's fault, by
Right.
the way. Militarizing the police force.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, no.
Wait, what? Huh? Who shot who in the what now?
But that's what we did see in Ferguson, Missouri, for on Sunday night, Monday night, Tuesday night, and Wednesday
So
night.
on and so forth.
Thursday night, totally fine. People were hanging out.
They were probably watching a rerun of Big Bang Theory.
things that calm
Sheldon
down.
calms everyone.
And then
Right.
Friday night and Saturday night again, it all fell to shit again when the governor instituted a curfew for the people of the area. So people were getting arrested. There's all these videos of the police force, destroying cameras, arresting 2 journalists that were at the
Yeah.
McDonald's in town because there's free Wi-Fi there.
Not wearing identification.
Yeah, it's the whole like I don't understand how as a
curious.
police force you can not see the optics on it and how bad it looks.
Yeah.
Like 100%.
Step away and go, maybe the perception here is a problem.
So what
There
about
was
the,
a-
what
there
about
was
the
a lull-
looting? What about the looting?
There was a
Jared?
lull when the St. Louis County Police Force was taken off and the State Patrol was put on, but now we're back for whatever reason. Like Adam said, I don't understand how you don't look at this as a nightmare PR thing. It boggles my mind how they would just continue on this path the way they are.
If everyone would just get over it.
Oh, right. So
Right?
you were talking about looting.
Yeah, there's looting going on. I mean, that has to mean something, right? I mean, that has to put somebody in a bad light.
Right. Yes, it does. But the looting is, of course, completely mischaracterized and blown out of proportion. Right. So there was looting on Sunday night that kind of initiated the whole overpopulated police presence, and then there was some on Friday night too. But from all accounts, it was super minimal. There's bad eggs, right?
Right.
Everywhere.
People are going to be shits.
1 out of 3 people on this podcast would be considered
And
a
if you're
bad
and
egg.
if you're as a police force, if you're actually concerned about looting, why are you not positioning yourself in front of businesses
Right.
instead of going after the crowd of protesters?
Yeah.
So yeah.
But looting's an excellent like dog whistle, like an excellent way of like being like, oh look, these
what?
Look, it's just a crowd of unruly hooligans
Yeah,
who are they just want to steal stuff. So we can't take them seriously. So therefore, they don't have any rights, which is completely wrong. Again, it's not a simple thing. It's a complex thing. There's a lot of moving pieces. Some people are bad eggs and just want to cause trouble.
Yep.
So Rand Paul had like
Opportunistic.
I thought a good or a half good editorial in
Rand
Really?
Paul.
Yeah.
No, this is mind-boggling that Adam is going this direction. But it proves that Adam reads a lot of stuff. He pays a lot of attention, and he's not just on one side.
He's not interested just in media that supports his worldview.
Of course, he isn't.
well, this is in Time, so I don't know how
Well, that's a liberal rag as well. So because everything that's not a conservative.
right. Anything that's not Newsmax or Fox News. So it was a good editorial. He or half good anyway. It's about demilitarization, the demilitarization of the police that needs to take effect. Like if you look at a lot of tweets from former vets, they're talking about how the police in Ferguson have way more armor and stuff than they did in Iraq and Afghanistan. The whole reason for this, there's a program that allows police forces to buy or to get for free equipment from the Department of Defense.
Instituted in the 90s.
This has to be a money game in here somewhere, Adam.
Well, sure. I mean,
A lot of this was to fight the drug war.
Okay.
Because you had drug gangs that were increasingly better armed. So the thought was that police agencies need to have the right equipment to combat this.
Okay.
So, but now it's being turned against normal citizens.
Right. And it's like it's funny because riots happen for a lot of reasons, but part of it is an escalation. From people's fear and a mob mentality kind of coming together. So when you have police officers, just normal looking police officers, who are also citizens, just hanging out or around, there's the implication of a calming safety force, right? Like
Okay.
if stuff gets out of hand, these guys are gonna, calm things down. But when you have dudes with assault rifles trained at you, all in
Looks like
bulletproof
something out of the
vests
Hunger Games.
Yeah. It doesn't. You don't feel safe or protected by them anymore.
No, you feel oppressed.
Right. So they're not doing themselves any good by using this equipment.
Gotcha. So I'm going to pop the pin on the grenade and ask this question, and then throw it into a room. I'm sure the NRA is there helping arm these citizens, and they've spoken out tremendously in support of the citizens that are now being oppressed by this police state.
Yeah. No.
They have not. There's no official statement.
No. A lot of right people on the right have latched on to the images that have gone around on Twitter and stuff of local store owners armed, standing guard over their businesses recently, of like Friday, Saturday.
It's interesting.
But guess what? Those are sort of isolated cases, and I still don't know if I like the image of someone standing there with a AR-15 or a AK-47 protecting their business. I think maybe that's a bit much. But, you definitely have the right to protect your property, from looters. So, yeah. But there isn't an influx of, the media has drawn a lot of parallels between this situation and then the whole Bundy Ranch thing earlier this year.
Right.
Where you had, Second Amendment supporters who came in from out of town and were taking up sniper positions, aiming weapons at federal officials. Nothing was ever done to them. I don't get it. I don't get how certain groups get a pass and other groups don't. So you have to kind of look at it.
Read between the lines, Jared.
I get it, but why people aren't being taken into account on this stuff, and why we're not having a dialogue about, long-term oppression and racial bias and everything else that goes into the situation. It's not a simple, we're mad that a black guy was killed by the cops, possibly unjustified. It goes deeper than that. It's not so simple.
I've got two simple words that will enlighten you. Heathcliff Huxtable. Next story.
Anything lighter? We're hitting hard here.
Now I finally learned about Ferguson. Thank you, guys. I just pretend.
Okay.
most of the
I think
time.
this is the last downer of a story, but it's not really.
We got another one?
It's not really a downer.
Okay.
It's just
Bring it.
disappointing.
I'm ready. I'm doing
So,
my stretches.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. That's probably it. Their box office performance.
You're upset that the Expendables 3 did not top them,
I think they're both rough. And Jared's seen them both.
Yes,
but Jared liked the Expendables.
I did partially.
All right. Shark Week was last week on the Discovery Channel.
This is a hot button issue.
So,
Ouch. Looking at weekend estimates, Let's Be Cops snuck up into number 3.
Oh,
Go ahead.
Expendables. All right. So anyway, so Discovery Channel has, in past years gone from a science-based, newsy documentary channel into an entertainment channel.
So it's sort of like your shirt in a weird sort of way.
Yes.
It's turned into the non-red line through science topics version of your shirt.
But in the other way, right?
Yeah.
Instead of focusing more on science, they focus more on the
On
things
finding
that-
unicorns.
Nobody
for
watches
instance.
science programming. That's
Exactly.
probably why.
Well, maybe Cosmos had decent ratings. Maybe not good enough.
It was a bit
to-
dry.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. It was a bit dry.
You didn't watch the last few episodes. Though.
Okay, yeah, I'm about 4 behind right now.
because
got better?
it gets aspirational. I'd say.
Okay,
in the last half.
I'll buy into that.
Aspirational.
Yeah.
I like it. Good
I
one.
know.
I
Whole
want
different
to
Adam.
be,
We've got a
I want to
whole
be an astronaut now.
Discovery Channel.
So Discovery Channel
Shark Week.
over the past few years, they've gone more and more entertainment based to the point where now they have started copying Animal Planet's
Oh my God.
fake documentary methodology. Let's say. So a
Like
couple
Finding Mermaids.
Exactly.
Oh, for crying out loud.
to the point where a lot of people think mermaids are real now. Because if you don't know, Animal Planet has had in the past 2 years 2 mermaid documentaries that
They don't tell you they're not documentaries.
until the end credits, where you have to see it in
Yeah.
the as they're flipping
as
by.
the super fast credits, Jared.
But
You know those.
it's a documentary style thing. They
Yeah.
interview people. They
Sure,
go on fact finding missions looking for mermaids.
Well,
so
savvy people like us know that that's
So
a
it's a
bunch of BS.
docudrama.
yes. So what happened this past Sunday on the Discovery Channel? They aired a 2-hour segment called "Shark of Darkness: Wrath of Submarine." About a 30
worst
foot,
name ever.
I know. A 35-foot long great white shark, the size of a sub, that was that supposedly attacked people off the coast of South Africa. But surprise, none of it was real.
It's not like anything else.
Zoologist Michelle
That's for
Wiesel
Norton.
points out at Southern Fried Science that the submarine shark in South Africa is actually an urban legend started by journalists in the 1970s who are trying to fool a gullible public. But the Discovery Channel didn't debunk the myth. Instead, they offered up computer-generated images and interviewed fake experts with fake names like Conrad Manus about the fake shark submarine.
Couldn't they have done a story about, or a TV show about that actual myth itself?
Sure.
I mean, that might have been kind of interesting, right?
Now, wasn't Discovery once like funded by a National Science Foundation or something like that?
I think
back
they
in its original
used to get public funding.
Yeah.
This
is not the first time the Discovery Channel has conjured up pseudo facts about sharks out of thin air. Last year's Shark Week feature,
the Megalodon.
featured,
I watched a little bit of that.
Yeah, it's called Megalodon, the monster shark that lives.
It's so terrible.
Which claimed a giant shark that's been extinct for millions of years is suddenly lurking in the oceans again, possibly attacking people. So this too is also bogus. There's no evidence that megalodons are still around at all. At the time, the Discovery Channel offered a quick Weasley disclaimer at the end of that some of the events were dramatized. But the show had 4.8 million viewers, and many came away genuinely confused. And they go into an interview with one of America's top sharkologists, shark experts, and he's talking about how every class that he has had since this aired last year has asked him, at least one person has asked him if megalodons or where megalodons are still exist.
So our critical thinking skills as a nation are terrible.
Mm-hmm. And by the way, Jared, even sharks eventually let go of the prey they're eating.
There you go. That was nice
callback.
That's a callback.
All right.
By the way, the main website that I read for my reality TV news, Reality Blurred, has had a tirade or two on the Discovery Channel about this shark stuff. I mean, he minces no words about the specific deception that these guys are weaving and portraying and how they are unapologetic for it.
Yeah.
Because it gets ratings.
They're like, oh, well, some of our viewers like to have this stuff. Well, I guess you could have stories talking about how Darth Vader is real, too, and people would eat that up, but it doesn't make it any truer.
Right. Well, and people... like whether they want to admit it or not, people think the Discovery Channel, Animal Planet, TLC,
too cute.
They think that they are legitimate sources of actual information. They think,
and they once were.
Yes.
They once were. That's the problem, Jared.
That's the problem.
God, that is the problem. What's up next?
All right, video games.
How many stories you got in the tank here?
A lot of tank, Jared.
Star Wars rumor roundup.
Let's do.
All right.
Okay, so. Tread lightly.
Shane and I have a pact.
We have a pact.
We're trying to avoid plot spoilers.
Plot spoilers,
fine.
stay away.
Well,
you can talk about some of the photos.
Okay, that's all this is all about.
But I know that there's photos possibly of some of the bad guys. I don't want to know about that.
Okay,
there's two things you can talk about.
New Stormtrooper
Han
helmets.
Solo and Stormtrooper.
Okay,
Han Solo and Stormtrooper. Jared and I had that conversation.
All right. So this was linked to Indie Revolver. Jay Carlson posted images of what appear to be sleek new Stormtrooper helmets. But it raises an interesting question. Why are Stormtroopers still hanging around if the Empire has fallen? And they look sleek, I guess, but they mostly just look like what they looked like in Attack of the Clones. Or in whatever 3 was.
I think Jared and I think they look like updated episode 4 through 6.
It's a sleeker progression.
Yeah, it's sleeker, but I mean they're definitely a lot of the Clone Wars had like Finn and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And by the third movie, they were almost Stormtrooper outfits. They were sort of a mishmash of clone and Stormtrooper. This one is like a simpler lined version of the Stormtrooper stuff.
And I don't agree that the Empire is completely gone. I mean,
there's a lot of people in the Empire.
The Emperor is gone. The Death Star is gone. Darth Vader is gone. But I mean, there's still a lot of equipment, a lot of personnel out there that.
I mean, someone's in there
in the 30 years in between trilogies that somebody could get them organized and back to a capable fighting.
But
force.
it means that someone went into Maya, loaded up the old helmet, redesigned it, and then submitted an order for it all.
No, they probably did one of those website things where
you're saying the Empire uses Maya. That's their 3D software.
No, it's more like it's like those logo creation websites. You know, hey, we need a new Stormtrooper helmet. We'll give you $40, but we can get 100 different designs, and this is the one that won.
Okay,
that's how they did
possible.
it.
Nice. Maybe they went through Fiverr
or TaskRabbit.
TaskRabbit is definitely their site of choice.
What would be the Star Wars universe equivalent of TaskRabbit? Would it be like Task Womp-Rat?
Yes.
Probably Task Womp-Rat.
Yeah.
I'm writing that down.
What
That's a good weapon.
what was Jabba's buddy? What species was he?
I don't know. Salacious B. Crumb?
Yeah.
That's all I know him by. I'm not a nerd.
All right. Oh,
Whoa.
What'd you do? You unplugged your headphones, fool.
we're good. Maybe.
You're good. Keep talking. I'll work on it.
Jeez. I'm glad I have a direct line.
There we go.
I think we got
Star
it.
Wars Rumor Roundup,
Wow,
Part 2.
J.J. Abrams is affecting our show.
Trying to kind of messes
All
up.
right. So the only other item that Shane will allow me to talk about is Han Solo's ride. Although we already know a full-scale Millennium Falcon was built for the film, Badass Digest,
Badass Digest.
posted
Should have
today
registered that domain when I thought of it.
sources tell him that
Your Internet Comments is available, or sorry, internetcomments.com.
We need it. We need
I thought you bought it.
I did.
Okay.
I bought it.
Now you're going to
The
resell it.
Sorry, the website's available.
Okay. So anyway, posted today that sources tell him that Han and his furry co-pilots will be at the command of a super Star Destroyer.
I
I don't know. I didn't know that, Jared.
I didn't know that.
I was
either.
talking about the new pictures of Han Solo's costuming. Did you not see that?
No.
It makes sense that Han Solo would have. I mean, he was a general in
Yes.
Jedi, for crying out loud. Why would he still be carting around in the Millennium Falcon when he's on official business? He wouldn't.
It's a good point.
He would not.
Good point.
This past week has been. It's like the floodgates were opened on
Yeah.
Star Wars rumors.
You think it was they're all fakes? Maybe they're fakes.
Maybe.
I
but who
actually
knows?
hope they are. I mean, but at this, I feel like we went on such a dramatic rumor ride for the new Star Wars movies that a lot of the surprise was spoiled, probably in a good way, because they weren't great films.
Yeah.
But on this one, I feel like I want to go into it not knowing as much. Jared and I, what was our limit in terms of what we would actually allow ourselves to see? What was I don't even
I don't know.
remember.
Character designs
To a
possibly.
degree, yeah.
As long as they were characters we knew already, I think.
Mhm.
So like Stormtroopers, I was fine with. Seeing Han Solo concept art, I was fine with. If there's characters I don't know about yet, I don't necessarily want to see the art for that, or do I want to see the descriptions of how they fit into the story?
Yeah.
So
And I've read. I think we both have read some of the early possible plot issues that came out a few weeks ago that seemed a bit outrageous, but now may not be. I don't know, but
I heard some stuff in the Star Wars fan panel at Convergence to some rumors there, but
sure.
I don't know. I haven't read the new rumors. I don't know if those corroborate with what I had learned previously. So
I just know it's a year and a half away.
so early.
It is probably my most eagerly anticipated movie since. I don't know, maybe since Phantom Menace and Batman in 1989, because I was really excited for that movie, and we'll be talking about that and how that ties into the Scope Show later on in future episodes. But I mean, to think about how excited I was about that stuff, I think this movie's there, tempered with me being an old man now.
Yeah,
But it's a really exciting thing, and I don't want it to be completely ruined by all these jerk offs that are spoiling stuff. I respect J.J. Abrams in that regard.
Yeah, we're 16 months away. We're probably at least 8 or 9 months away from the first trailer. So I mean,
Let's just.
it's
calm
going to
down
be a
little
long
bit.
time, long time to wait. And
what's going to be the new
avoid.
Meet Joe Black, where they attach the trailer?
It'll be a Marvel movie. Would be my guess.
So that's not till May next year.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll get a trailer then.
Yeah.
It'll be good timing.
Yeah, I think that
It's
makes
funny,
sense. I mean, I thought we might see something this December, like a year away, even just a teaser that just might be. But Jared
You
does
don't really
not
need
agree
to.
with that.
I don't think you need to.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean,
It just
who
would be
doesn't know
nothing.
Star Wars is coming?
Yeah.
I remember reading theforce.net a lot before the Phantom
Sure.
Menace came out.
Yeah.
And I feel like I knew a lot. Oh, too much going into it. And yeah, for this one, other than when I do the news here, I don't think I've seen anything.
Yeah, I would love to be able to go back in time, or at least maybe you can do that on the internet. I don't know, and see what was said when the early rumors of Jar Jar Binks started spilling out, just to see what the response was, because I don't remember.
Yeah.
And I don't remember if people knew enough about Jar Jar before the movie came out to really have a solid opinion. But I think that that would be really interesting to look at.
Or people probably were like, "Oh, it's just another Ewok," and they were, they were annoying, but they were, okay. Wicket was cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think we maybe were interested and also skeptical that we were going to have a completely 3D rendered character.
Yeah.
Interacting with real life people, but you could do that no problem now.
Yeah, we had the right to be skeptical.
There's more Star Wars stuff. Do we want to talk about it or not?
I don't have any more. So if you
there
guys
was the
want to.
news of the potential original versions of the trilogy coming out on DVD, Blu-ray.
That hit last night, as a matter of fact.
Yeah.
So yeah, there. What was it? Comicbooks.com was reporting that plans are underway, or actually in there
Have been in the works for
a
while now.
For a while, that the original versions of episodes 4, 5, and 6 will be released in Blu-ray around the time that episode 7 comes out.
Yeah, that's not surprising.
The problem is that the rights for episode 4 are Fox's in perpetuity, I believe.
Yeah,
and because
they co-financed it, so
yeah, I mean
they own a chunk of it.
That was part of the deal that Lucasfilm made with Disney. So the question is, if something like that were to happen, Disney and Fox would have to be working together pretty closely.
Yeah.
Which I hope. I mean, I hope that's true. Maybe it seems a little unlikely, but it's not like Fox and Disney have never worked with other companies.
There's money to be made, and if they can figure this one out, maybe they can figure out X-Men and the Marvel Studios films to get that working out.
But I mean, there's not a requirement that they're really working together.
I want to ruin the chance.
Yeah, they might hear us.
But they could just say, "Hey, there's no rights transfer. We're just going to split the profits from this movie by this percent.
Yep.
It's a one-time deal."
Hey, look, and if you're trying to do the original version, which there are arguments to be had over what is the original version,
right?
But you got to have 20th Century Fox logo at the front of it and the fanfare. So you can't release it with a new Disney logo because then people will be upset.
Will be outraged, as they should be.
Yes.
All right, we're going to finish up with
last story.
One story. Yoshi's real name.
Well, we're almost we're over 50 minutes, so we should probably.
All right, how about this?
Yeah.
Pick a good one.
Gamescom this week.
The German convention for video games.
Yep.
Europe's biggest convention for video games, not just Germany.
Yeah.
It's Europe's.
It just happens to be in Cologne.
Yes.
In Köln, as they say in German.
What if I told you guys?
There's a lot of cosplay. There's a couple of YouTube guys that I follow that are at Gamescom.
Nothing but Lederhosen
See?
based cosplay, Jared.
Yeah.
It's true.
Not true.
It's absolutely
What if
true.
I told you that
video evidence to the contrary?
Internet favorite Guillermo del Toro was teaming up with Metal Gear Solid's own Hideo Kojima.
I like your pronunciation of both
He's
names.
very good.
To create
very sharp.
a new Silent Hill game.
Interesting.
I think you might have a winner there. Is that true?
That is true. Ding. There you go.
Jared, can you time the ding with me pushing a button on the camera? Ready. Try it again.
Yeah, that's good enough. All right.
I don't know where your surface is where the button is supposed to be because you're just kind of like plowing through.
Right here.
I need a plane for you to interact with.
If you want to know more,
I do want to know more.
And you own a PS4,
I do.
you can play the PT demo, which is actually
It's a playtest demo, right?
sure.
I didn't know what that meant. I did not know what that meant.
I don't know.
I just guessed what that
If
was.
you search the PSN store for P period T period, it's there, and it's not necessarily a demo or a teaser. They're calling it like an interactive teaser, but I don't think it's actually related to the game. It's just something they concepted up. But supposedly, it's very frightening.
Sounds
And it's free.
confusing.
It's just a free.
Did you get a PS4 yet? Uh-oh.
See that bottom one?
Yes. Your package from Amazon will be delivered. That's cool. You got a text alert right
That's
there.
a push. That's a push notification.
Oh, is that what they
You
call
can sign
that?
up for
a
this.
push note.
This isn't. It's not like Adam's special and has a direct line to
Would you
Amazon.
guys help me figure out my phone?
You just
Congratulations,
you
Adam.
just sign up for notifications. That's all.
Tomorrow.
Okay.
Fantastic.
I'll
And
get
then
to
I
play
can
this.
wait till 2015 to play good games.
No, this year.
It's a good year. More
Far
year
Cry
in.
4.
Okay, fair enough.
Can play it with you.
Ooh. So now I got it on PS4. I see how it goes.
Yep. So yes. Anyway, they're teaming up to do a new Silent Hill game. Silent Hill, one of the best, I guess. I guess the first few were considered some of the best horror video games ever released.
Yeah.
And I never have owned a PlayStation before, so I never played those because Silent Hill were always Sony exclusives. Until the later ones, which I think were also on the.
This is a true story. Silent Hill was one of the first video games that my wife ever bought me, and I remember playing Silent Hill 1, and Jared might even have been there.
Maybe.
This was at the Northeast apartment, and it was scared the shit out of us.
Literally.
It was a scare. We were actually
One of you pooped your pants.
we were pooping our pants right on the couch, and it smelled bad. But boy, that game was scary.
You kept playing.
Those giant scary pixels of the PS1.
Well, they weren't pixels. Yeah.
They were pixels.
Real quick, PlayStation 4 One sales again. New console sales overall are 80% higher than they were last gen at the same point.
I'm going to make a note to myself right now.
Yeah.
I think we should have a
Scope
year
gaming channel
a scope
on YouTube.
Yes.
What? Oh,
And also let's go have a 1-year anniversary show of the console wars.
Can I set
this
that one out?
generation? Well, you can help moderate. You can help. And
I will be here in silence because I have nothing to contribute.
I'm
to
just
that.
curious for us to look back and see what's actually happened and judge Sony, Microsoft, and Nintendo on what they've done in the past year.
What's that last one?
Yeah, who knows? It's a note to myself. We'll put that in the boiler.
And then the last story, not really a story, but an anecdote.
Look how he snuck one in there, Shane.
How the hell is this guy doing this?
Yoshi,
He's probably going to tell us he's married already.
we now know Yoshi's real name.
What is it? I didn't know
Yoshi,
that.
the dinosaur from Mario.
Jared, let's
That's
guess.
his name? That's a terrible name.
Okay.
Let's guess what his name is.
Oh, geez. Yoshi, the dinosaur from Mario.
I'm going to say it's Roderick. What do you say?
Why wouldn't it be Yoshi? Is it a pseudonym? Is he playing a role? What's the deal? Explain to me, Adam. I don't want to guess. I want to know.
This was from a 1995 marketing not guide, but like a brand guide.
Sure.
Yoshi's real name is T. Period. So who knows what the first part? Still a mystery. T. Yoshisaur Munchakoopas. So he's Greek, I believe.
Coming soon.
What does that T stand for?
That's the question. We'll never know.
Testicle.
It's got to be Tiberius.
Testicle.
So here's the question.
Tiberius, Yoshisaur, something Japanese.
Is that the green? Is that the green normal Yoshi? When it's the blue Yoshi, is it the same Yoshi or a different Yoshi?
I think you're going to have to cross-reference when that marketing material came out to when the multiple Yoshis were introduced.
Okay, good point.
Because there was
All
only
right.
one to begin with, the original Tiberius Yoshisaur Japanese word.
No, Munchakoopas.
Okay.
He munches on Koopas.
Oh, Munchakoopas?
Munchakoopas.
I missed that. I just assume you were pronouncing Japanese words.
Munchakoopas.
Munchakoopas.
Sounds like the worst
Wow.
video game porno parody ever.
All right. Coming soon.
Yoshi's not afraid to go down there.
No. He falls down that pit all the time. That's the sound when you jump off of Yoshi, right? When you hit B. Okay.
Wow, this is my sound effect hand right here. Does anything. We got it, Jared. And I'm so angry right now.
Coming soon.
I'm going to try.
I'm going to do this.
Double bitches.
Yours seems a bit more Randy than mine.
All right. Yeah. Music. We've got not much, but I like some of the names of these bands.
Okay.
So you guess.
I'll tell you if I know them.
You guess what kind of music they play.
Okay.
Dragon Force.
Country rap.
Sounds good.
Dragon Force is like a speed metal, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. They're focused. They've been featured on rock bands.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. That one, the song at the end. It's like super crazy.
Double bitch that one right out the window.
Colton Dixon.
Colton Dixon.
I think is an American Idol kid.
He's an American Idol guy.
All right. Imogen Heap. Everyone
She
remembers
does
her.
weird, ethereal alternative music.
Gaslight Anthem. I know them.
Gaslight.
Indie rock.
Yeah, not a huge fan.
Roots rock.
Museum of Love.
They have a new one? Gaslight Anthem?
Aren't they opening for the Replacements?
Who?
Yeah, I think they are.
And I'm not happy about that. I'm
Are
going
you
to
guys
that.
still talking
I'm
about
going to that
Gaslight
show.
Anthem?
Are you?
Al got tickets and he invited me.
Son of a bitch.
It's historical show. Of course I'm going to it.
All right, whatever, old guys. Museum of Love. This
I
is
hate you.
former LCD Sound. Pat Mahoney is the old drummer for LCD Sound System, and
Yes, he
is with another guy in Museum of Love. So they have their first.
He
album
also
coming
runs a
out.
deli on the West End.
Cool. And Ariana Grande.
It's Ariana Grande. Her brother is in Big Brother, and my daughter loves her. She's formerly of the TV show Sam and Cat.
You sure know a lot of stuff about Ariana Grande.
I do. And Jared watched a little bit of her show last night,
It
too.
was terrible.
It was
But
terrible.
it's not for me, though.
Was that on Snick?
Snick does not exist
What?
anymore.
Where do you watch Are You Afraid of the Dark or all that?
You watched that in 1997. Shit.
All right, moving on to movies. We've got
It's a lot of moving.
movies. Let's see. If I Stay. It's
Yep.
about a privileged white girl in a coma who must decide if she wants to live or die.
I passed
How does
see
she
that on
know?
Monday.
How does she know? Are you in her brain?
That's
Is that
the
it?
MacGuffin, all right? When the Game Stands Tall.
Football movie.
This is
Football.
Jesus is a football coach with a 151 game win streak. It's based on a true story.
What, Jesus is?
Yeah.
Well, it's James Caviezel.
James Caviezel. He played Jesus.
Caviezel, guys.
Or as Jared would say,
Caviezel,
Jesus.
Yeah, sorry. DVD and Blu-ray, we've got The Quiet Ones, a horror movie, I think. The Amazing Spider-Man 2.
My daughter says
end
she
was a
wants
horror.
all the Spider-Man movies.
She wants all of them? Like,
all
for what?
all the James Garfield. She has a huge crush on him.
Oh, that's right. The Flintstones.
You're going to indulge?
Hmm?
That crush, you're going to indulge it?
No.
Okay.
Well, yes, I'll probably buy the movie for her. But
So you're indulging
that
in the
movie
crush.
sucked, by the way.
No, it didn't.
Amazing Spider-Man 2?
I did not like it at all.
No.
It's Emma Stone in it.
The
next one won't.
She and Garfield were good when they were not dressed up in costume, or he wasn't. But the villain was terrible.
Yep.
Everything was terrible with
No,
that movie.
not everything. It was just okay.
Jared,
I agree with it. It was just okay.
Yeah.
There were a lot of bad things, but there were some good
1 star.
Speaking of just okay, the 1996 Flintstones movie is finally coming to Blu-ray.
I saw that in the theater.
Me too.
I probably saw it with you.
Probably.
Toy Story
Probably
of
Mall of
Terror.
America.
That is a great short. Have you
Is
seen
it?
it?
No.
Yes. It's really great. It has G.I. Joe type toys. It has Voltron type toys.
I've been watching G.I. Joe from the beginning.
We got to talk about
Pause. When are we going to talk about it? Right now?
that. No, not
Okay,
right now.
some other time.
We'll talk about it at the beginning of the next show.
We'll talk
Real
about the
briefly.
beginning of next show.
Next
very
week,
briefly.
tune in for next week.
It's very, very confusing.
Leviathan and Scooby-Doo, Franken-creepy.
Was Leviathan just by itself?
Yeah.
I saw that movie in the theater too. It's an undersea horror movie.
I remember that.
Oh, right. Yeah. We saw that.
Video games. Finally, we've got some games coming out. We've got
I don't believe it.
Counter Spy. This is
What's that?
the last of the PlayStation 4, their version of the Summer of Arcade. Supposed to be good.
Okay.
We'll see. Diablo 3 Ultimate Evil Edition for all the consoles. This is Diablo 3 with the expansion pack that came out for PC a few months ago. People say that playing it on the couch is a lot of fun.
People say.
Hotline Miami for the PS4. That's a really fun top-down 8-bit game that I played on the PC, which is incredibly bloody but has an awesome soundtrack.
Okay.
Plants
Super
vs. Zombies, Garden Warfare.
Who cares?
It's our PlayStation releases. Sword Art Online for the Vita, and Tales of Xillia 2.
Didn't they cancel the Vita? Isn't that done?
The Vita, I think, is mostly used as a means of playing your PlayStation 4 games remotely within your house when you're.
The shame doesn't have all the buttons.
You know what? You know what I forgot to bring up earlier when we were talking about my personal future.
Please, we've got all the time.
Is how the soon to be devil in my life will no longer allow me to play video games.
Oh, that's sad. What's very, very sad.
I don't believe that.
Shane's quote was, "They all turn into devils."
I stand by it. Newsflash, Adam.
Yeah.
I'm 10 gold bricks away from 100%ing Marvel Lego.
I don't know what any of those words
Thank
mean.
you. Jared,
All right.
is
That's
that it?
most of what's coming soon.
Jared.
What?
Did it.
Hit it or miss it. Hit up the week. Hit it
I
or
got probably
miss
turn
it.
on and turn off.
Hit up the week. Hit it or miss it. Miss of the week. Look out!
What? I went for an abbreviated
I like
version.
it.
Yeah.
So,
much.
hit it or miss it.
Trying to tighten up these shows.
This is good luck.
We're over an hour.
This is a moment where one of us picks something you've got to check out or avoid this week. Adam, it's you.
I picked something to check out or hit, as we say.
Hit it.
We're very violent.
Negativity's gone.
I selected.
Woo. Sorry.
Just so you're aware, Young MC will be featured heavily
In episode 7. That's one of the rumors you did not tell us.
at our wedding.
Ooh.
Is busting a move required?
Yes.
Compulsory, as they say?
That's how you have to do as you enter.
Oh.
And by the way, Jared, DJ, Adam's DJ, only playing mashups. That's the truth. That's right. Electronic dance music mashups. Go ahead, Adam.
This is actually good.
Hi.
Gotta keep it tight, Jared.
Spent a lot of time with that
Gotta
song.
keep it tight.
Okay, I selected Sin City:
Ah.
A Dame to Kill For. A
I
movie
will be
which
seeing
is
that
a movie
tomorrow.
which is actually coming out
Yeah.
in August.
He sings
Jared.
tomorrow.
Seeing it tomorrow.
I
As
am
the
not.
show airs, I will be seeing it tomorrow.
It's a sequel to the
Tuesday.
2005 film
Shane
Sin
can't
City.
because he has to get his teeth worked down.
Robert Rodriguez and Frank Miller are co-directing, just like the first Sin City. The script was written by Frank Miller, just like the first Sin City, and it's primarily based on the second of the Sin City.
Is it too little, too late? I mean, that movie. How long ago did that movie come?
2005.
I mean, that's a long time, Jared.
I
10 years.
don't think that it needs to be like I think the word sequel is misplaced. You know,
It's just
it's in the same universe.
exactly.
But I don't think it loses any of its I don't know, knowledge. You know, people are like, "Oh, that weird black and white with color movie from 2005." I remember that.
And this one doesn't have Michael Clark Duncan.
Right.
Sadly.
If this one were in color, I'd see it definitely.
Would you now?
I would.
It is. I mean, it's partly in color.
I guess.
Jared
not having it.
Under the scope.
Wow, Jared, our super short show is in full effect.
You only have yourself to blame. You didn't need to talk about my personal life.
You loved it.
I do love attention.
So I was going to read a comment from John Norton that he brought up in our official Scope group on Facebook, talking about the Scope Medical Challenge and suggesting something that all three of us could participate in and talk about.
Yes.
You mean this?
Yes.
This right here?
Whoa, look at that.
But you know what? We're short on time because we've gone long, and I'm not going to read it. So if you want to read that whole discussion back and forth, Adam talking about how it's against his religion to get a tattoo, that's over in our Scope official Facebook group.
Yeah,
And
it's hot.
You can find that link and all the links to our social media accounts on our website at thescopeshow.com, including Facebook, Twitter, Tumblr, links to the YouTube account where you can watch us talk about stuff, not just listen to us. But if you've got a comment, you can write in at comments@thescopeshow.com. You can call our voicemail line at 612-21-SCOPE. That's 612-217-2673. And if you like what we do and you want to support us financially, you can sign up to be a patron on Patreon. Patreon.com/thescopeshow. It is the website where you can support content creators directly. You can pledge as little as $1 an episode, cancel anytime. It shows that you care. It shows that you want us to continue and improve. That's all. Back to you, Shane.
Wow, terrific. Well, it has been one heck of a show. We've learned a lot about ourselves. We've learned a lot about each other. We've come together as three individual pieces, like the Triforce.
Yes.
And we've merged to...
Are we like that six-armed Voltron 2? The middle one that we never
It's
saw
called like the
cartoons before?
Gigagius or something like that. That's what we are.
I think we are.
So it has been a show of learning, of feeling, and loving. So let's wrap this up. So for Adam, Jared, and myself, thanks for being our fans. We'll see you guys next time. Goodbye for now.
Ladies and gentlemen, we find ourselves once again at the end. I hope you've enjoyed our time together. I know I have. Fear not, Scope faithful. Days shall pass as if they were but a moment, and Jared, Adam, and Shane will return with another thrilling episode. Until then, send your comments to comments@thescopeshow.com or leave a voicemail message by dialing
612-21-SCOPE. That's 612-217-2673.
Thanks for listening, faithful fans. This is Tony Partington saying, Annyeong. Tune in next time to another terrific edition of The Scope.